Yo, what's going on? Legends District here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the custom black crosshair that I've been using for the last few months inside of Apex Legends. That is completely secret. No one knows how to get it, and it's because it's not actually in the game. It's something special that you got to do outside of it. That being said, let's hop on into it and let's show you all about this black crosshair that may or may not completely change your gameplay. Let's get into it. Alright, Legends, today we're going to be going over my black crosshair settings, how I got them, are they useful, how does it affect your gameplay, and how it changes from reticle to reticle. This is something that a lot of people are going to want to know because at the end of the day, it can make your gameplay potentially better, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, it's going to make it a lot worse, and you'll understand here why in a second. Now, right away, everyone kind of knows that Apex not too long ago added the custom reticle color customization thing where you can change it from blue to green to white to whatever. You can change the brightness, make it brighter or darker. You can change the colors, all that good stuff. But black is not an option on the color spectrum. It is, you know, you get the full RGB effect, and then you can also change the brightness, but you can't lower the brightness to black, and you can't just change the color to black either. So how do I get this color crosshair option if it's actually not in the game? Now, the way that I got it, and there may be some other ways that you can get it, but the way that I got it is by a custom launch option that I'll leave in the description down below if you want to try it out. Basically, all you need to do is if you're on Steam, this will 100% work. If you're on like the EA app, I don't know if it works. If you're on Origin, I don't know if it works. I heard that it does on one of those, but not the other, but it will 1000% work on Steam. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to head on over here to this gear icon. Oh, you actually can't see because my camera's in the way. Basically, what you're going to do is click on Apex, come on over here to this gear icon. And then once you've clicked on the gear icon, you're going to come on over to properties. And then in the general setting of your Apex Legends properties, you will see launch options right here. Now, this beginning part here, this does not matter at all. This should not concern you. This is just some custom stuff for me to cap my FPS at 235 and this no browser setting to just kind of help with like better FPS overall. But what you want to copy is this plus reticle underscore color config or launch option right here. Now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to leave it in the description down below for you guys. So if you want, you can just copy and paste it. Then what you basically do is you just launch Apex, and because this is a launch option, every time that you boot up Apex, it will automatically apply this to your game files. Now, what does this actually do to your game? Basically, all it does is it takes your crosshair, it changes the color to black, and on top of that, you might even notice it removes like 99% of the glow effect that you would get with having like a regular colored crosshair. Like, for instance, if I pick up something maybe like this, this 2x4 here, there's typically a glow that kind of resonates around that center dot. So in some instances where maybe someone is like the same color as your reticle, having that glow effect can sometimes cover that player. Or if there's someone who you're fighting and they're in, let's just say like a heat shield that's in Storm, or there's like a red bubble from a Gibby or a lifeline halo around them. A lot of the time, if you have like a red reticle, the glow can kind of blend your reticle in with whatever it is. This completely removes the glow. And because of that, it helps sort of make your crosshair a little bit more visible when you're over top of players, just because you're not kind of like meshing your crosshair into that player. Not only does it remove the glow from your reticle, but it also, on a lot of sites, either removes the reticle completely or it removes key parts of the reticle. So for instance, if I take off my bruiser here, and I aim down sight, you'll see right now, Stunny, let's zoom into this, editor Stunny. You can see that I don't have the 2 dots. I don't have the circle, and then I don't have the big, thick black dot from my wingman iron sights. Instead, it's just a tiny little micro dot. Now, some people may say that this is an advantage because you have a more, tiny crosshair. In my opinion, this is a massive disadvantage simply because, well, it is very difficult to see. Like right now, when I'm aiming over top of someone, it can be really hard to see where my crosshair is. And because of that, it can be hard to know when I'm going to actually connect shots with that person. Now, again, at the same time, I did also remove that outer circle, which to some people may be a little bit distracting. If we were to grab something like the flatline, though, you can see that the flatline iron sights, in my opinion, are a lot cleaner. They are a little bit easier to see other than maybe like aiming right now against something that is black. But if I were to aim against a person, again, there's no glow from the iron sights or from the reticle, so it does make it a little bit easier from time to time to kind of see targets. Unless I'm aiming against like a black background. Black background. Now, at the end of the day, is this like a massive advantage? I honestly don't really think so. If anything, in my opinion, what I'm always telling chat is that it's actually a massive disadvantage. The only reason why I personally play with this still is purely because it gets people asking questions in chat. And it looks cool, it's different. It's not too often you load in, you see a streamer playing with a black reticle that you've never seen before. So it's just one of those things where it's kind of like niche. It's cool to some degree. But I wouldn't necessarily say that this is anything that's going to actually give you a major advantage in a gunfight. If anything, most of the time I'm losing my crosshair. It's actually hurting me more than anything else. So in the near future, I'm probably going to get rid of this. But for the time being, I'm probably going to keep it. Now, like I have been saying, this whole thing, this whole black reticle is mostly a disadvantage. So why do you maybe see some TikTokers actually using it? The reason why is because most streamers who are using this like config or launch option, whatever you want to call it, it's a launch option. I don't think it's a config, is because they're using what you see on my screen right now, which is a custom on-screen crosshair. Every single monitor that you can buy in 2025 is going to come with an option for an on-screen crosshair. It's going to be in like your monitor settings menu, right? Or maybe even if you have like a gaming PC, like you could probably find an on-screen crosshair. But the reason why people are using this launch option is because it removes a lot of key features that would get in the way of having an on-screen crosshair. So for instance, let's just say I'm aiming right now with this, little tiny dot. Well, you can't really even see the tiny dots from the HCOG because the on-screen crosshair is so small, it covers it up, right? Where it's big enough where it completely covers it up. Now, if I were to switch on over to a 1x2, right? The 1x2 has that outer circle, which if you have an on-screen crosshair, you see that outer circle move around as you're aiming and you're shooting and you're jumping. Right now, if I jump, you'll see that my little dot actually moves out of my crosshair. But by having an on-screen crosshair, you know where the center of your screen is at all times, and it can help you be more accurate. Whether you're hip firing, you can keep your crosshair right on that person, whether you're aiming down sight with that 1x2, whatever it is. So basically what's happening is pros, not pros, mostly just streamers, TikTokers for the most part, are using like an on-screen crosshair, and then they're using this launch option on PC through EA or Steam or Origin to remove a lot of the key features so that their on-screen crosshair isn't as cluttered with all of the other things around their scopes. So now maybe we come back on over to like the the RE45. Now when I aim down sight, I don't have that outer circular, crosshair on top of my RE. I can shoot with just my on-screen crosshair. Is this on-screen crosshair, or rather, more importantly, is this launch option considered cheating? Is it bannable? Can it get you in trouble? And does it create a massive advantage? From what I understand from the devs that I've talked to other streamers who use it on stream, it's not a bannable offense. I don't think it will get you in trouble. Is it a little cheesy? Possibly. only if you're using an on-screen crosshair with it, specifically something like Crosshair X. Removing key features from the game and then replacing it with external features, meaning I remove sights from the game to make my picture clearer, and then I add custom sights to the game to make it that much more effective. At that point, I would start to consider it being a little corny, maybe a little inappropriate, and you might start getting in trouble if you get caught doing something like that. Now, again, I know there's plenty of TikTokers who live stream them playing like this, I mean, and they've never gotten in trouble. But I personally wouldn't recommend playing with an on-screen crosshair and removing your sights at the same time. It's just a little bit corny. Again, to the point where, does it give you a massive advantage? You're only getting an advantage from this if you play with on-screen crosshairs. If you don't play with something like Crosshair X or, you know, something built into your monitor, it's just going to give you a massive disadvantage. So if you're right now sitting down and you're thinking to yourself, should I play with this? In my personal opinion, unless you just want to be different, or unless you just want to make the game actively harder for yourself as a way to force yourself to get better, understand where the center of your screen is so that you're not purely relying on seeing a crosshair to know where your bullets will land. Then yeah, go ahead and use it. I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you're going to be using it for an advantage in terms of making your sights clear and adding more accurate custom sights, then I think you're kind of treading into massive advantage territory, because you just always know where the absolute dead center of your screen is, when in game your crosshair will be bouncing all over the place. So I'll leave it to you to decide if that's something that you really want to like add to your gameplay. The only reason why I even made this video is so that people can practice the way that I practice, which is with a black dot, very hard to see, and forcing yourself to understand where the center of your screen is. There's going to be people who take good things and they make them bad no matter what. So at the end of the day, I would rather give honest people the chance to get better honestly. And if bad people want to exploit that, it's going to happen regardless. Right? It's no different than teaching people how to tap strafe. They're going to take tap strafing and they're going to add their own configs to it, and they're going to start neo strafing and doing a whole bunch of crazy cornball shit regardless. So with that all being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Remember, do not quit, because it only gets easier from here. Later.